Should you drive for UberX or LyftX in 2024? It's going to depend on a couple factors. One is, where do you live? Secondly, what are your goals? I live on a lake, and if I turned on Uber or Lyft, I could wait an entire day and not get a single ride. Believe me, I've tried it. But fortunately, I live fairly close to a large city to the west and a college town to the north, and both give me two different opportunities to earn money with Uber and Lyft. And so location is going to be a very, very big factor. Some people mention the type of car you've got, but there are a lot of options to lease a car for Uber and Lyft to start out, to test the waters, see if you like it. And so that wouldn't be a primary factor, in my opinion, as to whether you drive Uber or Lyft. Second thing is going to be the goals. For me, I have made lots of money doing other jobs. I had one job with stock options where I made over $1 million a year. You're certainly not going to make that driving UberX or Lyft. I mean, maybe if you've got a fleet of black cars you're leasing out and SUVs and a huge YouTube channel, you're doing that. But the typical UberX, LyftX driver is making maybe $28 an hour plus or minus, depending on where you live, what hours you drive, and that $28 an hour is gross. Net, if they're honest about all the maintenance and expenses and depreciation of the car, they might make $20 an hour plus or minus, again, depending on what hours you drive. Are you picking up at bars at 2 or 3 in the morning, or are you driving daytime Monday through Friday? Is it a part-time job during peak hours or a full-time job? But generally speaking, a typical Lyft or UberX, again, depending on where you're living, might gross $50,000 to $100,000 a year working full-time. Just take $28 an hour gross, $20 an hour net, times number of hours you're working. That might give you an idea of the possibility. But for me, goals is the most important thing in terms of, do you drive or do you not drive? Let me talk about some of the people I've met over the last just week. Met a lovely young lady from Ethiopia, spent her entire life in Ethiopia. She is here for a exchange program with the college in the Lod area for 8 months. Wow, amazing hearing about Ethiopia and life in Ethiopia. Met amazing college professors, individuals that have traveled the world, spent considerable time in Europe, South America. I've met a world-class snow skier that competes in the Olympics. Met a rock and roll band leader that travels the world, a well-known band in town, has a house here. I do 20 to 30 trips a day and meet some of the most amazing individuals out there. Met an angel, so to speak, that devotes her life to helping people get off the streets and recover. I've driven individuals to recovery centers that are recovering from alcohol, drug abuse, and some physical abuse, trying to get their lives back together, accomplishing miracles 6 months, a years later, as they're making progress. Individuals with broken families and individuals having the time of their life. It's just, for me, a great opportunity to get out and provide a public service, meet wonderful people. And you spend 5-10 minutes in the car if you're doing short trips, talking to 20-30 different individuals from different walks of their life. And that's the main reason I drive. Now, I can make some money, nothing like what I used to make, but I do average about $28 an hour gross, $20 net. I can pull in gross $1,500 a week working 50, 60 hours, $1,000 if I work 40 hours, or $2,000 if I really push it and hit 70 hours, or if there's a major event going on in town and surges are going off. New Year's Eve made almost $500 just in one night. And so it's going to depend upon the day, but I wouldn't get into Uber or LyftX just for the money. I would do it for the flexibility. I'm able to travel, head to Costa Rica, head to Florida, whatever I want. I do it because you like meeting people. If you don't like meeting people, do DoorDash, do driving for Walmart or food delivery, stuff like that. But I absolutely love chatting with people, hearing about them, and you get the occasional person that wants some silence, and you respect that. But quite a few people get in my car and love to chat. Frustrations. If you're with Uber and X and in the rideshare, things you should know about. One is rates can be challenging. I'm able to make money, pay for expenses, but there are rides out there that are less than 50 cents a mile that are unprofitable. You're losing money every time you drive. I think it's not a ideal situation. Unfortunately, many drivers are accepting these type of drives, and they're ending up with cars that are beat up and unserviceable after a few years. They just drive the cars into the ground and end up with nothing and burn out. And so you're going to need an economical car, and you're going to need to be choosy on the trips you accept. Destination filter. Some people love long trips. Maybe if you're in a livery service with chauffeur's license, you've got a SUV, several people in the car, or you've got a black car and you're getting 2 to 3 times the rate, that makes sense. But for me, long trips, I can turn on the destination filter after an 85-mile trip, and the destination filter for both services will send me 10 minutes north, 10 minutes south, and I'll end up half a mile closer to my destination, which was east, after I used up a destination filter. In my opinion, a destination filter ought to get you back. If you made an 85-mile trip one way, destination filter ought to get you back 85 miles, but they don't work that way.